Hello and welcome to Hold the Line Sports, where we do the work so you don't have to. Just me and Will again today, skeleton crew, getting the job done as we go through our dog days of summer. A lot of good stuff to talk about today. I like some of the topics that you've kind of acquired for us. I'm excited to get into those. Before we do that, however, I'd like to make an announcement. This will be my last episode in the state of Tennessee. I'm moving to Vegas, like Las Vegas, like Vegas, for another job opportunity. So I mean, I think you just look how the turntables just look.
Yeah.
You know, they thought they could hold me down. Now look at me. I'm in the gambling city of America. Doesn't get any better
Let's
than
go.
that, folks. Doesn't get any better than
Cam's
that.
Cam's gonna be
Oh, I'm
spending
gonna be.
every weekend at the
I
casino.
know it's gonna be. It might be trouble, but it's fitting for me. So I think it's where I belong. I feel like it's where I belong. So I'm coming home. I'm coming home. I've never been there, but I'm coming home. How's your week been so far, Will?
It's been good, just chilling, watching the Braves lose a lot of games.
More than they win,
Yeah.
statistically
Got a new
speaking.
camera. So if you guys are seeing me a little clearer, seeing my ugly mug a little clearer, that's why.
Yeah, leave a
So
comment if you notice the crispness of the camera. Leave a comment. If you're ready, man, we can. I know you got a stat, I'm sure. And we got a few things to get into today, so let's go ahead and get started.
you know me, I got my stat. So this one,
Oh, I know.
it involves the Braves. So, it's a cool thing. Basically, Warren Spahn has 363 career wins. 356 for the Braves, 4 for the Mets, and 3 for the Giants. He also has 363 career hits as a batter. 356 for the Braves, 4 for the Mets, and 3 for the Giants.
That's not real. That's insane. That's insane.
It's a good one. I like that one.
Was that one on Twitter?
That was on Reddit.
Oh yeah, you got a deep dive for something like that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's amazing. So now I think that's like you reset the bar there. Like we talked about it last week, where it's like you
Yeah.
set the bar pretty like I don't know. You might yeah, like that's a wild one. So I don't know. I don't know if you top that next week. I don't know if you do it.
See, but we said that about last week.
You are capable. You're pretty handy capable, I will admit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll hold out hope for you, but that's a wild one.
But I guess we can get into the bulk of the show. First things first, we can move on into the. Let's see. We're coming up on not really coming up on the trade deadline, but teams are starting to become buyers, sellers, all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. The good stuff. So I will. We're gonna go through each kind of like position group. To see like who we think is going to be moved. Today we got outfielders. So we each have 3 outfielders that we think are going to be moved at the deadline. Whether the team's going to sell or just kind of like try and either bulk up and one has to go or something like that. So Kim, who is the first outfielder you have that is going to go somewhere?
Okay, well the first one I have is the easiest one in the world because this guy gets traded every single year, and it just so happens he's on a losing team again. Tommy Pham is going to get traded. He is always a one and done candidate as a mid-season acquisition pretty much every time he goes anywhere. So I think in order for me to at least not have a 0% win percentage on this and just to make sure I get one right, Tommy Pham will get traded. If you want a more fun one from the same team, I can do that one as well. This is less likely, but I still think there's a chance. You want me
Yeah,
to do
go
it?
ahead. Go ahead and do your second one.
So this one is Brian Reynolds. It's again, the Pirates are a losing organization. I've got this like feeling that it's like a let's build around Paul Skeens kind of thing, and so they're gonna be searching for more youth. I also think they're gonna get rid of Ke'Bryan Hayes, but that's further down the road. But I think they start opening up some cap space with some of these, like IKF and, like Heaney and stuff like that. But I think Brian Reynolds is in that group of like the old guard. I think they're trying to open up a new window, and I think that starts with Brian Reynolds being relieved of his duties as a Pirate and hopefully going to a contender finally because he's a good player.
Yeah, he's just having a down year.
Yeah.
Who's your? Go ahead and do your third guy, Cam.
So we're gonna go ahead and do my favorite hitter. We're gonna go with Taylor Ward, and you guys are gonna be like, why is Taylor Ward your favorite hitter? I don't care. He has the best swing, like just like objectively, he has the best swing. Does he make good swing decisions? No, but neither did I, and I still did okay. He has like a bad swing decisions, but like a 10 times better swing than I do. I just like watching him hit. He's got a good approach at the plate. He's hitting well to he's hitting well. I mean, he's like among the leaders in home runs. Like, yeah, he's probably hitting like 220, 230, something like that. It's kind of where he lives. But if he's hitting for power, he's kind of doing his job. I think that is something that contending teams are going to look for, a guy that's going to hit for some power and he's going to be put in more run producing stages with, more important ball games ahead of him. So I think that's a guy that I can see on the block going into the deadline.
Yeah, fair. Chat has 3 people. I feel like we'll recognize them pretty quickly. You know, I don't see Ronald or Michael going anywhere. Michael can go down to AAA, please, though. Yeah, and then Verdugo. I mean, if he keeps playing like he did, and the Braves keep sucking like they are, I mean, might as well.
Everything
So
suggests that they're in like a holding pattern. Like I just don't see them getting rid of any. I don't It's hard to envision them selling. Like it's just hard for maybe it's just me being a Braves fan, but you still like you see the lineup and what it's capable of. You have to look at it and be like, we're one bullpen piece away. We're one starting pitcher away. Like we have guys that can hit. They just have to do it. And if they do that and we acquire a couple people, then maybe we make a run. We're 5.5 back in the wild card, I think, or something like that. Probably like 6.5 now since we're about to lose again if we haven't already.
we did.
So I mean, we're still in it. We're not going to win the division. That's like there's no way that's going to happen. But like a wild card spot is still there, so they can't view themselves as sellers until they're sellers.
Yeah, let's just sell everyone. Because I mean, we say we have hitters, but for last year we didn't hit. Start this year, we're not hitting. Maybe 2023 was just a fluke. It's looking more and more like that every year. I mean, Ronald is fine, and I think Austin Riley is just about there.
Yeah, I think he's okay.
And Olsen is, maybe not like 50 home run guy, like 270, 50 home run guy like he was in, you know, 2023, but he can be 230, 240, 35 bombs every year with a decent OPS. So, I mean, like
The the issue with him is he had what we call a career year a couple years ago. And so anything that
mhm.
isn't that is going to hurt worse, but like you have to view that as an outlier year for him. Like look at the years before and look at the years after. That's an outlier year. That's not his norm, which is great. He had a
Yeah.
career year, but there's like a there's going to be like this regression to the mean that is his normal is what you're going to see for the most part. Right now, I think it's just his normal. He's going to hit for a lower average and he's going to give you some power, some 30 to 35 home run power.
Yeah. And I mean, like, it's weird. Like, he had that year in 23, but then also he had like 270 and 21 for the last year on the A's, which, so like, he's shown it for multiple years, but just hasn't been able to do it anymore. So we'll just have to see with that one. He's just start hitting the ball in the air, which all the Braves need to start hitting the ball in the air. The amount of ground outs we have is astronomical, and it pisses me off.
Yeah, I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, we all miss Freddie. I love Matt. Matt is probably he like at the time he was the best replacement that we could have gotten, and probably like realistically the best replacement we could have got. But yeah, Freddie's he could be having his best year ever.
He's simply
Like
just He's just not as good. Freddie is just there was no way to replace that man. That's gonna be a Hall of Fame baseball player. There's no way to replace him. Matt Olson's not a Hall of Famer. He never will be. He's good, but you don't replace Freddie Freeman. It's
Yeah,
impossible.
yeah. It's Freddie is like, I mean, he would have been in the third year right now. I think of his third or fourth, third, 22, 23. No, he'd been fourth year of his deal right now.
Yeah.
When we didn't want to give him the sixth year, and he showed no signs of slowing down.
Nope.
So
And still hasn't.
yeah, and we lost the leader of the clubhouse that we so desperately need.
We've lost all the leaders of the clubhouse.
Yeah, him and Dansby back to back, and then Travis
And
Darno right after
Darno,
that.
yeah. All of them.
Yeah,
Heck, and Free for
because
the rotation.
yeah, which I mean, he was quiet. I think Strider can do that. Strider's definitely more outspoken. He's just got to,
He's got to be on the field. Like,
yeah,
he's got to have he's got to have a healthy rest of the year, and I think that'll set the tone.
yeah. We can move on to my three outfitters that I think get moved. First one I
wrote
think
any
is
of yours
probably the
down.
best, the best one on the block. Cedric Mullins. He's actually having a really good year. I think like I looked at it. He's like one of only like 4 or 5 center fielders to have like primary center fielders to have double digit home runs. So he's actually in for a lot of pop. And people forget that he had a 30-30 year a couple years ago. I think it's mainly because he's in a contract year, so he's having to go show out. It'd be a rental, but I think someone gets it done. Like, I mean, really, anyone in need of an outfielder, you could throw him out there because he doesn't have to play center. So my
Like that
next
one.
one, my next one is the obvious one, Luis Robert.
Yeah.
Get him out of
I wrote
Chicago.
him down.
Um, I mean, he's not having the best year at the plate. I do think it's somewhat to do with situation, but also I just think he's going to be a low average hitter for his career. But he casually is leading the league in stolen bases, and he's still a very plus defender. So he's definitely, and he's got the talent to hit. Like I was looking at him the other day, he's like plus in fielding value, obviously plus in on the base paths, and he's got like really good bat speed, stuff like that. So like all the like analytics and everything like that show that he can be a really good hitter. I just legitimately think he doesn't want to hit because he's in
I think
Chicago.
you hear him talk, and like I think it's like mental at this point. Like you got to think like how many games and like how many years now of just like bad baseball he's been a part of. Like it's almost like ingrained in him to a point where it's like, oh, I got to get up and go to work again today. Because like you don't want to get up and lose every
It's
day.
like me.
You don't want to get up and play bad every day. And I think he's just been doing that, and like with high expectations too. And it's either been he's hurt or he's underperformed and his team has underperformed. And I think he is like a patented case of we need a change of scenery. And I think you would see a better version of him if they did that.
Oh yeah, I definitely think we'd see a way better version. Maybe not like a 260, 30 home run guy, but a 240, 25 bombs with elite defense and elite base running. I think anyone would take that. To be honest, I'd take that
Um,
out of Michael Harris right now, and we ain't getting
I
it.
was about to say that would be an upgrade.
So yeah. I mean, what I will say. So I texted in the group chat the other day saying he needs to be sent down to AAA. Maybe I need to do that every day because then he proceeded to have, I believe, 2 hits after that, one being an RBI double that tied the game, and then robbed the home run. So I guess he heard me say that he needs to go down, and then, you know, he actually decided to play baseball well.
We'll just make that a daily text, just a daily send Michael Harris down, and hopefully he sees it and acts accordingly. Because he did.
Yeah,
It was like 30 minutes later. He's
yeah.
he's like
What's
buttoning up
funny
for us.
is, yeah, the double was like 30 minutes later, but legitimately the home run robbery was about 5 minutes later. I'm pretty sure he struck out in the inning. I was like, he's got to go.
Yeah,
And then like 2 batters later, into the next inning, he robs home run. I'm like, never mind, he can stay.
that is one
So
thing. He's so good out there. He's just
yeah, which I mean, I kind of like contradict myself. Like I've always been the guy that says, okay, give me, elite defense out in center field, good speed, but you can hit like 250, 15 bombs, and I'll take that. And that's probably what his contract's worth. He's getting like what 8, 9 mil, something like that.
Yep.
So, but I mean, he's not even doing that at the plate. He's doing like 220. So, but we still are getting the elite defense, and he is good on the base pass when he gets on. So, I will say that I just need a little bit more out of
Well,
him, and
I
then
get what
I'll be
you're
perfectly okay.
I get what you're saying, but it's not that contradictory when this dude was like the minor league hitter of the year a few years ago, and everyone expected him to come up and hit because that's what he's done at every level. He's had enough time to adjust, and I just don't think he's adjusting at the rate we need him to.
See, what's crazy is even I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago. Like he didn't play like all year, but he still hit like 275, 280 with like 15 plus bombs. Come on, Keys. We're filming something. We're filming something.
There's
But
someone
yeah.
walking by the door. He's such an idiot. Keep going, sorry.
But yeah, I mean I think it was last year, like he hit like 270, 280 with like 15 plus bombs and obviously played elite defense. We take that every year.
Yeah,
Just do
100%.
that. You don't like Mike Harris does not need to be this 30-30 guy.
Mm-mm. No,
Like
no.
not even close, to be honest. Like he doesn't even need to be 20-20 for me. His
Yeah.
defense is that good.
What we got out of like Dansby in like a regular year is like what I would kind of want from Michael Harris. Like Dansby had his years where it was like 220 and he wasn't hitting well, but then if he was like 250, 270 with like 15, 20 home runs, I was pretty happy because he played great defense. But you get that out of it's just those premium middle defensive positions. You get that out of center field, you get that out of shortstop, you get that out of catcher, then you're pretty happy as a ball
I
club.
mean, yeah. I like what I saw the other day, and what I want out of him is prime Endurance Ciarte.
That 1 year where he was
Yeah.
diabolical.
He
Yeah.
hit like 280,
Yeah.
290, like
He was
15 home
nasty.
runs and had elite defense. Give me that every year because that is probably about 70% of what his potential is.
Yeah.
Give me that every year or better, or even just that every year. He's worth his contract 100%.
Yeah, I agree.
He definitely needs to change the approach. His swing is the longest thing I've ever seen and cannot catch up to velo at all.
Yeah, it's very flat and it's very across the zone. He works around the ball. He does what Jason Hayward used to do the same thing a lot. Where he just kind of like sweeps across the ball and attacks the outer half of everything. So he just works around too much. If he can shorten it up, work, like left center gap and just kind of live that way. When he has those like left field like line drive base hits, like that's the swing. But he just
Yeah.
works around everything way too much.
It's I say that Braves ground into a lot of ground outs. Michael Harris does about 80% of them.
He's
A
a
lot of
lot
them
of them.
are hit hard as well.
Yeah.
But it's just because
It's just the
he
attack
hits a
path.
ground ball to
Yeah.
second base every time, and it's probably like 95 plus off the bat about a lot. So like his expected stats show like yeah he's probably going to be a little bit better, but still when you're just hitting a bunch of 95 plus ground balls to second base, it's never going to get better because also
Absolutely.
you can't even beat it out with your speed. So
Yep, absolutely.
yeah, I I don't know. Um, might have went on a tangent there. Did I got two of them?
Yeah, you got
Yeah,
one more.
I got
You
two.
got one
I
more.
got two. One more. I'm gonna go a little bold here. Um, I think a team like the Red Sox, they're not gonna like sell tremendously, but they're super young. I don't think they're there yet. I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs. So I think a team is going to pay them a king's ransom for Jaron Duran. We've already heard rumors that a team really likes him, and I do think that, and they kind of have a log jam out there in the outfield because that's the only reason Roman Anthony isn't in the majors yet.
Yep.
If a team, I love Jaron Duran. He is so good, but if a team offers me at the trade deadline some like really good prospects, it's not going to be like Soto level, but some really good prospects for him, or like another like a really good starter, something like that, because their pitching has been atrocious.
Hmm.
And then I get to bring up Roman Anthony. I might take it.
I think obviously it would have to be like
It's gotta be the right
Like
package.
a
Yeah.
Juan Soto type of package, like where you're getting, it's got to be
I don't know
worth
if
it.
it'll be that much, but like 2 really good
I
prospects.
mean,
Maybe
but
not like 3, 4,
I'm
but
saying
yeah.
not from like the caliber of prospect, but the level of overpaying relative
Yeah.
to like him. They would have to overpay in order for them to say yes. Um, but I think, like you said, the main thing for me is they've got prospects, they've got guys that they want to bring up anyways, and outfield is a logjam, and their top guy is just waiting in the wings, ready to go, and I think he's major league ready. And so if they get a deal, they can get better while also bringing up and getting good reps to their top prospect. They're going to do that.
Yeah. Some chat said Duran for Arias.
I would want
I mean,
more.
yeah, you guys know my stance on Arias. I don't think he's that great. But also, Tristan Casas isn't the answer. So they need a first baseman. And, he he does become probably their new leadoff hitter.
It makes sense.
What I've said the Padres should do with him, but yeah, I do think that it wouldn't be bad. Obviously, there's got to be more. Like Chad just said, probably have to throw in prospect.
For sure, because you'd be relying on Duran's young. You're getting a lot of good years out of Duran. Arias is how old now?
It's probably like at least late 20s.
The way that he plays,
It'll last a while.
it'll last. So, because he doesn't run anyways, right? So it's like, it's not, you
No,
don't have to worry about like that skill set deteriorating. So it's like that hit tool is going to last. I just think it's also premium position for not premium position. I think you want an arm in there too, like a prospect arm that has like high end, capability
he's 28, so he's still fairly young.
in the prime. So like you're gonna get 5, 6, 7 good years out of him, especially if he plays first base. It's not going to do a lot of damage unless he runs into other people like he has earlier this year. But as long as he avoids
Yeah,
that, he should be fine. But I still think losing a premium position to get a first baseman that's not a power threat, you need something else along with that, or a speed threat, like whether it be a high
yeah.
end arm or that's crazy to think
Duran's
about.
apparently the same age.
That's
Yeah,
crazy to think about.
I mean, if I still think Duran is exponentially the better player, regardless of age. But
He also
I,
hates Arias, so
yeah, I do. I'm I'm all for the speedy contact guy, but you got to
Mhm.
have speed and not be a roadblock on the bases,
Right. I agree with that.
or be able to field. And he can't do either of those. So, but yeah, we can move on to something that I prepared a little bit. I will go ahead and share my screen so we get a little treat today.
I got my notes
Uh,
ready.
we're going to do an all-2000s team. So we are going to, basically from 2000 on, we are going to just draft. Each position, DH, 3 starting pitchers and a reliever from each year. So yeah, Cam, do you want the first or second pick? It'll be a snake.
My name's on there first. I'm going to go first.
Okay. Who was your pick,
Barry Bonds, left
Cam?
field.
That's where I figured you were going. That's where I definitely would have gone as well. Um, Let me see where I want to go because I kind of want to play this a little bit strategically, but also get the best players. So I mean, first one I'm gonna get another goat. I'm gonna go Mike Trout in center. He's
Cross him
easily the
off the
best center
list.
fielder of the 2000s, in my opinion. So yeah, I mean he's the goat, and you can see my screen, right?
Yes, I can see your screen. I should have told you that
Okay,
before.
just wanted to make sure.
Oh, it's a
Let me see.
snake. Man, that
Yeah,
really could have gone second.
where do
Okay.
I want to go next? Is my question. I think I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with the other guy who compares to those guys in numbers. with Albert Pujols at first base.
Yeah. I'm starting to see the error of my ways. I think that changes things, doesn't it?
So you are up with, but you get 2 back-to-back now, Cam.
All right, hold on now. Hold on. I gotta be strategic here. Okay. I gotta be ready with this one. All right. I am going to go Miguel Cabrera at third base.
Third base, okay.
Oh, well, is first base allowed?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can do, because he played both. Let me do Miguel
Yeah, he
Cabrera
played.
at first base.
Okay.
Let me
As long as they played like there for like multiple years,
yeah. I
that's
only put
fine.
him at
We
third
just
because I had Albert written down first at first. But
yeah,
yeah.
I might have spelled that wrong, I think.
All right. So I got that. Now I am gonna go with Ichiro Suzuki in right field.
I had it written down. Yeah. Ichiro's is goated.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Awesome. Let's see here.
Okay, this looks better now. I feel pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a squad.
Yeah. Both are really good. I think I'm gonna take, one that's, like a little the position's a little thin, so I'm gonna go with the best option there. I'm gonna take Robinson Cano at second.
Mm. All right, well, since you already took
Don't know if
him,
there's don't know if there's gonna be a better option there. And
I wrote
then
2
let's
down.
see
So.
here. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the best pitcher of our generation in Clayton Kershaw.
Okay. We get 3 starters?
3 starters, yes.
All right. Then I'm going to use one of my starters now, and I'm going to get the other best pitcher, Justin Verlander.
That's where I figured you were going.
Okay. See, these guys are like kind of 1A, 1B. What do I need? Let's go ahead and take the best closer off the board, Mariano Rivera.
Okay. I thought about him, but I was like, closer this early would be something.
I'm looking
But
at
I definitely did think about him.
I'm looking at the areas where it's like a little shallow, or there's like a
Yeah.
big gap between 1 and 2. And so that was my only thought process. See, I think there's like 2 people at most of these where I'd be like, okay, that was one where it was like, if I don't get him, it's a big drop off.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the best catcher. I'm going to go with Buster Posey. He is so good. So yeah. And then I'm going to follow that up with I'm going to go with what the chat said. I'm going to take A-Rod and throw him at third base. So I believe he played more shortstop in the 90s. So go third base for the 2000s.
All right.
Back to you, Cam.
I am going to take my second pitcher, Roy Halladay.
Okay. No hitter in the playoffs. Can't really fault you there.
Where have you not picked? See, shortstop is, I think there's like a couple guys.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple guys there.
And I need center field. You have that. I'm going to take Carlos Beltran and put him in center field.
Okay. That was probably my 2 as well. There was a couple people there for sure. Like
Andrew Jones was very close on
Andrew
my
Jones,
list.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you value defense more than anything, then definitely Andrew Jones. And that's why I'm going to pick, may not be the best at his position in the 2000s, but he's definitely the best fielder at his position. I'm going to give him Francisco Lindor because that guy can field everything while also giving you some elite offensive production. And then I'm going to go with, I think, the greatest talent in all of baseball history and go Shohei Ohtani at DH because that man is the GOAT.
Dang it.
Even in, he's probably been like 6 or 7 years. He's still, in my eyes, the best DH
Yeah, I can.
in
I was
ever.
going for
There's only one other guy, in my opinion.
I was going for longevity, but it's like you look at the. I'd put Shohei against.
He's got 3 MVPs.
Yeah,
That's
he's
pretty
already, yeah. Third base. Let's take Adrian Beltre. Put Adrian Beltre at third
Adrian
base.
Beltre. Okay.
Wanted to take Chipper, but Adrian Beltre was better for longer in the 2000s.
Yeah, and a lot of Chipper's prime was in the 90s as well. It extended in 2000s for sure, but MVP year in the 90s.
Yep. Let me do. What do I need? DH. Let's put Big Poppy in there.
That's right. Now those were the two guys that I was thinking of. So, but I went with Shohei. Get a little speed out of that position as well. Let's see here. My next one. There's definitely pretty big drop off in left field after Mr. Barry Bonds.
Yeah, I had to make
so
sure.
we're gonna we'll leave that one later. And then I kind of want to I'm trying not to stay too recent in all of my answers, but I mean, they kind of have to go there. I'm gonna take the guy who is on pace to have one of the greatest seasons of all time, Mr. Aaron Judge, and right. Because that man it's been probably about 8 years of really good baseball. So I mean, longevity's getting there.
Yeah.
And he's putting up an elite year. And then I'm going to go to my second starting pitcher and take. It was kind of between two for me. They're both actually still in the league, but their prime was a while ago. I think his prime is a little bit better. I'm going to go with Jacob deGrom.
I like that. I wrote him down. I can't lie. All right, so I need one more pitcher. Let's I mean, it's low. Yeah, I should probably take the pitcher since that's the only other thing that we both need. I think, man.
There's a lot of good options. There's
know,
really
dude. It's what I'm
not a place
saying.
you
It's
can go
like,
wrong.
You kind of go with just who you liked the best. I mean, even he had some. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff right here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's yikes. Man, this dude was nasty for 10 years. I got to come back to it. All right, so let me do what I already know. Put Joe Mauer at catcher.
Joe Mauer, okay. Could be a controversial take for some people, thinking that it should be Yadier Molina, but I'm fine with Joe.
Mauer hits better. I'm about hitting.
His defense isn't bad as well. Definitely no slouch.
And then second base, you got the best one, but I will take Chase Utley.
Okay. basically right there as well.
Yeah. Good for a while.
So we'll go to pitcher as well, since that's the last one that you have taken. You know, I think this one guy's probably, been better in the 2000s, but I want to get a little old guy going on my team. And arguably his greatest year was in 2000, which counts. So I'm going to go with Pedro Martinez.
Literally, he's on my screen right now. He's literally on my screen right now.
Yeah, it was between him and Scherzer for me, but I think Pedro's obviously better all time, but in the 2000s is very close.
That's what I'm looking at, like the 2000s. Go ahead and go. You do your last one.
Oh yeah, I forgot
But I
about
think I'm
that.
going to take the one that you didn't pick because it was mostly in the 2000s where he was good.
Yeah, and then left field. So I kind of want to, I don't know if I want to throw another just outfielder out there, just to, you know, be that guy or something like that. Move like a right fielder to left field. So we are gonna take an actual left fielder and throw Ryan Braun
Oh
out in left
man,
field.
Ryan Braun.
Probably, I mean, it's the second best left fielder, probably.
That's wise,
So
yeah.
it's definitely a bigger drop off compared to Barry Bonds, arguably the greatest of
That's
all
funny.
time.
At least I won that
But
position.
yeah, the left field for sure was Barry Bonds and then a giant drop off. But I think Ryan Braun is pretty solidly the second best left fielder. Could have been Yelich if he didn't get hurt. Who's your
You got
last two
Oh wait.
selections, Cam?
Oh, so you get the last
I
one?
went
Okay,
Pedro
yeah.
and Ryan
I got
Braun.
you. All right, so let's go shortstop. I'm going to take Jimmy Rollins.
Not gonna go with the captain.
No, I specifically said I'm not going to do that. Like specifically.
The worst defensive shortstop of all
I
time.
am one of the ones that is just not. I understand like mentally or like philosophically what he meant to the game, but in terms of like this dude's a good shortstop, I think there are better shortstops than Derek Jeter.
That's why I went Lindor.
Like yeah, like you picked Lindor over Derek. Like I just don't view him that way. If I need a
Yeah.
captain and I don't know, but position, like who's the most dangerous at the position, I wouldn't pick him. I'm gonna audible on my starting pitcher, number 3. I'm gonna go CC Sabathia.
He's a dog.
Yeah,
Definitely a dog.
we've got
I
6
had him on the
All-Star
short
years
list.
here. I think he's got a Cy Young. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I believe so. I don't know if it's with the Brewers or the Yankees, but I know he has one. Yeah, I mean, he was a dog for sure.
I'm gonna go ahead and take him.
Can I just throw Max Scherzer my closer? Never mind. There's probably two people that I'm deciding between. One has probably the second best entrance music of all time, Mr. Trevor Hoffman. But also, got to remember, I'm a homer. And this guy's prime, like his first 4 years was probably the greatest start to a closer of all time. And he was still good after that. He might not be that great anymore. But I'm going to go Mr. Craig Kimbrell as my closer. That dude was a dog on the Braves the first time.
Yeah. No, he had some years. That's like the thing with closers and relievers is like, I think that's what makes Mariano so special. Is most of the time
did it for so
you
long.
don't last that long being that effective in the closer role. You have like 5, 6, 7 years where you're pretty good, but like Mariano had like 15 of those things where he was like very good, and I just don't think anyone else has really done that before or after him.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, like the guy is probably the greatest. I mean, for sure the greatest closer of all time, probably, and the greatest postseason closer of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, he gave up what, 1 run all of his postseason career, I think.
Yeah.
Of course, he was, Game 7 in the World Series to lose it.
Pretty
But
important.
he yeah, it was, that one was a little tough. I mean, it was on a little weak hit by Luis Gonzalez, so I'll give him that. But you know, he's the GOAT for a reason. And yes, call that man up, Craig Kimbrell. My
I
my
agree.
closer
I
on
agree.
my
He might be my
All-2000s team
he might
is
be
in
my closer.
Triple A right
Yeah,
now.
he might be my closer.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if I can watch
Yes,
baseball
sir.
anymore.
And you know what? We're gonna kind of pivot. So we're going to do something fun as well. We're gonna do a lineup.
All right.
We're gonna have you put it in. We're gonna have put it in. Obviously, 1, 2, 3. Well, obviously, we won't throw the pitchers in there. They're just kind of in
We're all
order. The
DHing.
relievers,
Yeah.
like all DH as well. So, yeah, who is your leadoff hitter, Cam?
My leadoff hitter is going to be Ichiro Suzuki.
That's why I figured you would go. And if you didn't go there, I was gonna probably have to override
The
you.
one thing I can do is make a lineup, Will. You want me to do all of these?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, let's
Go 1 through 9.
Chase Utley in the 2-hole.
Okay,
Barry 3.
figures.
Miguel at 4.
Yep.
David Ortiz at 5. Adrian Beltre at 6. Beltran at 7. Jimmy at 8. Mauer at 9. Nope. Mauer at 8. Jimmy at 9.
Okay. I like it. So leading off from
hits.
mine,
Hey, they hit.
Oh yeah,
That hits.
they mash. They mash for sure. For mine, I don't really, have that prototypical leadoff guy like a Ichiro on my squad. But I got a guy that went 50-50. So Mr. Otani's going to lead it off for me
Give
because
him more
he's got some
ABs.
speed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then, we're gonna kind of try and stack it a little bit, but I realized that I do have a lot of right-handed batters, which isn't a problem. Then we're gonna throw Mike Trout up at the 2. Casually, just throw Mr. Albert Pujols at the 3.
That's disgusting.
And then round it out with Aaron Judge cleaning it up.
That's disgusting.
At the 4. That is an absolute ridiculous 1 through 4 right there. I don't know how you get that out. Realistically, I don't know how you do. Then we go back to, I'm going to go A-Rod at the 5 hole.
That's disgusting.
Got a lot of righties. Yeah.
Then top 5 that's diabolical.
Yeah. Yeah. Then we're gonna split it up. We're gonna have a lefty as kind of our 6 is kind of seen as the second leadoff hitter. So we're gonna have Robinson Cano split up all the righties in this lineup, and then we're gonna have the best hitting catcher of all time, Buster Posey, in the 7. Then we go Ryan Braun at the 8, and then I want Francisco Lindor to set the table for the top of the lineup at the 9 hole. That is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, that's diabolical.
I mean, both are.
You're like that top 4 of yours is just like, oh, because I've got there's like a little breather in mine with Chase Utley where it's like this guy's really good, but there's there's like a break before you get to Barry Bonds and Miguel Cabrera and Big Pop. That's awful. That's awful to face. But there is no break in your first 5 hitters.
Legitimately, you have 5 straight guys.
They're all protecting each other.
They can hit 300 and they can hit 40 bombs.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Then you got Cano he would be lower down for me as in terms of a hitter, but I want to split up, not have straight 7 righties in a row.
Yeah, no,
Just
I
kind of
get
have
that.
him in the 6,
I have mostly lefties.
and then
I'm like the opposite of you.
yeah,
We got Cabrera, Beltre, and Beltran's a switch hitter.
yeah, Suzuki, or I guess that's the
My
righties
righties.
you were
Those are my
talking about,
righties. Everyone
and
else is
then
my lefties.
Rollins was a switch
I
as
think Rollins is
well.
a switch. Oh, I'm pretty balanced then. I'm pretty balanced.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're pretty balanced. You
I
got
can
a
hit
decent
righties and
amount of
lefties.
yeah. I think my guys can just hit. So
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. I don't think they care. I don't think they care what they face. I'll be honest with you.
And we'll play in Yankee Stadium, so we'll just have that short porch to right.
There you go. Yeah, you should be
Or
fine.
no, we'll play in Houston. Have that short porch to left where we just pull so
Pull
many home
homers.
runs there.
Pull homers.
Well, yeah, let us know in the chat and down in the comments if you're watching on YouTube or Spotify.
Yeah, I want to know who wins this. Who
Who's
wins
won?
this? Who wins this game?
I'll probably tweet it out as well. Who wins this game? When
Remember, we got there's
who
pitchers
wins
too.
a 3-game series out of these squads? You got 3 pitchers, and then we'll just see how it goes with the relievers. But who wins this 3-game series?
I want to know. I want some comments before the end of this. I feel
Oh
pretty
yeah,
good. I feel pretty good
I feel
about
like
the
we're
squad.
getting. I mean, I feel great about mine. I don't know how you're getting 1 through 5 out,
Not consistently.
but I mean, no,
You
yeah, I don't
only
think we're getting anyone out consistently, to be honest. So
yeah. No.
we can, yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
First one coming in from the chat got me winning 6-4. So yeah, come on, Parker, come on.
It's a good game, I guess. You got Verlander giving up 6? I don't know, man. I don't know if Verlander's
Or maybe
giving
you
up.
went position by position, maybe
Oh, like in
like in
terms
terms
of
of like something like that, maybe. And then he has
Will
Will
in
in 3.
3. Okay, Will in 3.
Yeah.
It's a
I mean,
dogfight though. It's a
I
dogfight.
think yes. I think it's going
Yeah.
3 games, and it's probably coming down like freaking Aaron Judge probably hits a walk off bomb in like the 20th inning,
Yeah,
something like that. So
one of your young guys is gonna win it for you. I went all like older players for the most part.
I guess I mean that it kind of fits. I mean you were you were growing up. Yeah, we'll go. Yeah, might be a little bit older than me, but no, we'll just have some speculations out there to how old Cam
It
really
does
is.
make it like clear that like my era is like different than your era. That's like clear as day. Like everyone knows
Although,
now where I grew up.
yeah, spiritually though, we're pretty close.
Oh yeah,
Spiritually, we're
I'm
pretty
still
close.
immature. I haven't grown up yet, so
I arguably could be older
yeah, I think
spiritually, so
you are
we'll see how
older.
that goes.
You actually are older than me.
Yeah.
What else do you have for us?
I got the normal segments now. We'll go into fair or foul. We'll kind of we won't elaborate on a lot of them.
Sure.
Kind of running short on time, but
Yep.
we'll kind of go
We'll go a
into it.
sentence or two for each one.
Yeah. So the first one, the Phillies will be the number 1 seed in the NL over the Dodgers, Mets, Padres.
Man. The Phillies
Mm-hmm.
will be the number 1 seed over
Over
the
like
NL,
they'll basically
over
be
the
the number 1
NL.
seed, but like but like those are like the 4 teams kind of in the fight, or Cubs.
Foul. I don't like the bullpen. I think they need to acquire a bullpen piece or two if they want to do that. I think they're going to lose games late.
I'm gonna go fair. I think they will acquire some from the bullpen, and I just think the Dodgers are gonna, their pitching hasn't been amazing. It has been hurt, but it hasn't been amazing, and I think that division is way tougher than the Phillies division. So I think they're gonna drop more games than the Phillies do. Even though
I get
the
that.
NL East is no slouch, but I do think. Well, I mean, 3 teams are a slouch because the Braves suck. Yeah. we'll move on to the next one. I had fair on that one. This one's from the chat. We'll just have this one bonus. Fair,
Fair.
1000% fair. We can't hit
It's
and we
it's
can't pitch.
it's June 3rd, and we're 5 games under 500. We're 10.5 games back in the freaking division. Fair. It's super fair. We're trash, garbage. Sell
One of
everyone.
my friends who is a Blue Jays fan was at the Braves game today. I texted him, be prepared to see a lot of ground balls and strikeouts from the Braves,
Yeah.
and a lot of home runs given up by the Braves pitching staff. Both Ketel Marte and Corbin Carroll had 2 home runs each,
Perfect.
and there was a million ground balls. And wasn't that there was? I mean, like really, Gallon doesn't K that many people anymore, so there wasn't a ton of Ks. But yeah, we were bad today. It never fails that a team or a pitcher is scuffling coming in to face us, and then we make him
We
look like
just fix
Jesus.
them. Yeah, we just fix them.
It's so annoying, so annoying.
Yep, we got to 500, and I think we're like 3-7 in our last 10. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
losing winnable games too. I mean, it's not like, it's just awful. It's awful. It's awful.
Speaking of the D-backs, this next one is the D-backs pitching will keep them out of the playoffs.
Fair. I am a strong proponent of that. This one I have no hesitation. I think, like you just said it a little bit, I think Gallon's taken a pretty big step back. My boy Brandon Fat, he
had a yes hitter the other day.
If you did not see this stat line from his last start, you need to take a gander, because I had never seen anything like it before. This fella went 0.0 innings pitched. That means he did not record an out, for those of you unfamiliar with how baseball works. He recorded 0 outs. He gave up 6 hits and 8 runs. 6 hits and 8 runs in 0.0 thirds of an inning.
Yeah, I remember that day. I texted everyone in the group chat saying, if you want a good laugh, go look at Jesus Luzardo's pitching
He
line,
got
because
shelled too,
he gave up 12 earned in 3 1/3. Then I get on, me and Cam start to play some COD, and he goes, if you want a good laugh,
yeah.
go look at
That's what it
Brandon
reminded me
Fott's
of. It reminded
pitching
me of.
line. And then I go look at that, and I was like, golly. And like,
Yeah, dude. I mean,
it was bad.
it's
Burns is
bad.
probably done for the year.
And
So
I was just about to say that too. So he hurt his elbow. I think Eduardo's, is he coming back, or did he? I think
soon.
he got hurt again, but it's his shoulder again. So even if he comes
Yeah.
back, I don't know how much I buy into that. Like, it just might be an injury-riddled campaign for him. So that leaves, like, you got to hope Gallon turns it around, but his metrics are down. He doesn't look good. And Merrill Kelly has probably been their best pitcher that is now healthy. And Burns was their best pitcher, but now it's Merrill Kelly. I think that's their best pitcher. And I don't think he's been. He's that guy that keeps. He's your 3 or 4, and he just keeps you in games. He's not going to take you to the playoffs. So I say fair.
Next one. We'll have more on this guy next week because he just got called up. So we'll have to see, how he does in his first week. But this one, before we get going, Jack Caglione comes up, and the Royals make the wild card and actually start knowing how to hit.
Does he make enough of a difference? 31-29 right now. They cannot hit on the road. They cannot do it. They're one of the worst road hitting teams in baseball. And their pitching has taken like a small step back from last year. Last year they were, I mean, incredible. But Reagan's hasn't been as good. Lorenzen hasn't been.
Bubich has been a revelation.
So and they kind of like replaced it with that. So it's like it's there. They're competitive. It's not like they're getting blown out every game. Their run differential is like -7. So like they're in every game. Does that one player get them from -7 to +10 plus? I don't. Unless it's like that generational to where he starts protecting everyone else around him, and they start getting more hittable pitches, then sure. I just don't think it's going to be enough. That's a good division too. So, and
Yeah,
I think you're getting like you can argue a case for 2 wild card teams coming out of the AL Central.
yeah. I'm gonna actually go fair because I think it'll be kind of a Michael Harris in 2022 situation. Like Mike Harris came up, he wasn't generational, but he kind of just spark plugged that team, and
Sure,
then we ended up making the
sure.
playoffs. I think that's what's going to happen because I mean it's one game, but we kind of already saw it today. They scored 10 runs today in St. Louis, so on the road. So, but and Cagliari went 0 for 4. Yeah, I mean, or technically game's not over, but they scored 10 runs. So I don't know if it'll be because of him, as like Chad basically said. I don't know if it like on the field will be because of him, but I think him coming up will provide a spark that will propel them to making the playoffs.
I can get with that.
So I'm going to go fair.
It just this division's not easy either.
It's not, but I mean I think the Royals are good, and I've been in on them all
I
year.
mean,
I had
I
them
had
winning the
them.
division.
I don't know if you got the sheet, but I mean, I had them competing. I think I had the Twins winning it,
Yeah,
but I had the Tigers and the Royals like right there. I actually had the Royals ahead of the Guardians, I think, this year.
yeah.
So I mean,
I had the
they're
Royals
right
winning it.
there. They're a game and a half back from both of those other from the Guardians and the Twins. So I mean, they're in the fight. It's just that one's gonna be a dog fight like it was last year. It's just gonna be a dog fight.
This next one. So the Rockies are so bad this year that I'm going to do a fair or foul that will span over a multiple years time. You could just do, Rockies break the record for worst record ever. That's going to happen. We know that. This one, the Rockies organization is so bad and so bad right now as well that they will break the record for the longest playoff drought ever. And it is 30 years.
How many years are they at now?
6.
So they have got to be bad for 24 more years to break that record. If there was a team, an organization, a franchise that could pull it off, it's very hard to win consecutively in like baseball. It's very hard to also like lose and be that bad consecutively. There's always like, you know, like there's always this like the Angels not that long ago were a very good team. Like you look 8, 9 years ago, they were a very good team, right? Um, I can see with the White Sox won a World Series, what, a decade ago? They're maybe like 12 years ago, something like that.
Now,
Less
it was a little longer than that one, I
less
think.
than less than 24. I know for a fact because it was in the 2000s.
Yeah.
All right, less than 24.
I think
Um,
that was in the early, not the early 2000s, but like the 2000s decade,
I want to say it was
not the 2010s.
like I think it was like
I
20.
think it was like
It was
06.
something like that, yeah. So it's like that's still not 30 years. And now
Yeah,
they're one of the worst teams in baseball. So like it always
so close. 05.
2005. So 20 years. So not 30. And they've been competitive since then, right? Obviously didn't win a World Series, but they've been competitive. It is so hard to just be that bad to where you don't compete at all for that many years. Like something's the saying something's got to give. Like something would have to happen. Like someone comes up, like a generation, they get an arm finally that maybe can pitch at Coors. I don't know, but I have to say foul because that's just historic in like all the worst ways. It can't happen.
Yeah.
It just can't.
See, the one thing that is kind of getting me there is the Dodgers will always be good because they will always spend money. So the Dodgers are probably going to win the division a lot.
Yeah.
They might win it for 30 straight years. There'll be that one here and there, like when the Giants came out of nowhere in 21, something like that.
Yep.
But it will take a lot to beat the Dodgers division. I mean, there's a wild card, so we'll have to see. I would go foul as well. Do I think he gets to 20 years? Now that's on the cards on the table 100%.
Yeah. Because they don't draft
Like
that
if
well, anyways. Generally, they
yeah,
don't draft that well. So
like I
development's a
mean,
problem. They got to
unless
buy. They're gonna have to not be sellers.
unless Charlie Condon is the goat
Well,
when he
he
comes
is.
up.
He is. But you'll see that.
It'll
That
take a
fella can
lot
hit.
more than him,
That fella
but
can hit.
like he can hit. He just can't hit 9 times every
No.
time through the
No,
order.
they only
That's the
let him do
problem.
1. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll have to see with that one. I'm like, if the number for the record was 20 or
Oh,
23,
I'd
24,
consider it.
I'd consider
I'd
it.
consider it for sure.
I'm considering it at 30, but I just think 30 is too
It's so
much.
long, dude. That's so long.
But it's
I
like,
mean, it makes you
unless
think.
there's a
Like, it makes you think.
yes, like unless there's a major organizational change, I don't think it's within the next 10 plus years.
Yeah. Shout out to Colorado, though. They are on a 2-game win streak.
So they're up to what, 11
11 and 50.
or 10?
They're 11 and 50.
Okay.
Yeah,
You know,
they've taken like 2 games from the Marlins. So
no.
yeah, it's so bad, dude.
Yes, it is the Marlins. It
Yeah,
is the Marlins. So
so bad.
we'll have to see.
Yeah, they won
That
today,
was the
3-2.
last one for last one for fair or foul today. We're gonna go over to our weekly home run that we do
Okay.
to end it up. Last week, Nate won, but he also went chalk. He went Otani. So
I know, dude.
well,
Like,
I know,
did
right?
he text?
No, he didn't.
All right, so
So
we get
we
to pick
know who
his.
he's getting.
Yeah, we get to pick his
Yeah.
home run.
Nate's this, or he had Otani last week. He had 3 home runs. Me and Cam, I had Machado. He had Acuna. They had 1. Hey, I didn't win sole with Judge. Matt Olson
I'm
shared
saying,
with it,
bro.
and
Who
so
else is
like,
making like
and he
actual
only hit
selections other
2.
than me?
Yeah, I had Manny Machado last week, who had 3 home runs going into that
I
week.
got a deep cut today, so I'm earning this thing. I'm earning it this week.
I'm going with a star, but he has not been that good this year. So, mine's not like chalk, but yeah. And then I think Chat's just salty that they had Corey Seager last week and he had 0.
Mm.
But yeah, drop yours in the chat for this week. Nate's pick, I'm gonna pick for him. He's gonna pick Jack Caglione.
What if he just
He
goes
came up.
crazy?
Then I take credit for it. So
Either way, it's a win-win for you.
yeah, unless yeah, I obviously want Jack to do
For
well
sure.
because he's from Florida.
Yeah.
So, and I want I want him and Bobby Wood Jr. to just absolutely run the AL for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
That would be so much fun. But yeah, so Nate's got Jack. I have a guy who has been, he got paid a lot of money, but he hasn't hit this year. But I have a feeling that it's coming. Pause.
Mhm.
That he's coming. It's gonna be Juan Soto. I think he's just gonna randomly find his power stroke this week and just start stroking things.
Man, what a couple sentences he pulled together right there.
Pause.
What
No
a
pause.
string of sentences that was.
Ham, who is your home run pick?
All right, so I've got a deeper cut. This guy is hitting the ball well. It's like 4 multi-hit games in his last like 5. So he's swinging it really well. Not necessarily for a ton of power yet, but I have like a formula where I see guys that are like starting to swing the bat well, and then like the next phase of that, especially if they're like a power hitter, is they start hitting for power, and then they slump after a while. So we should be at hitting home runs phase of the journey this week. I'm going to go with Josh Naylor. He's got some favorable matchups too.
I like it. Actually, I have control of this entire thing, so I can mute Cam,
Yeah,
but he can't mute me. I should just start if you guys want me to start randomly just muting Cam and pissing him off, I'll do it.
And then making me repeat my
I'll
freaking
do it.
sentences over again. Yeah. I'd lose my mind.
Chat this week has Ketel Marte, which I mean, if today counted, you'd be off to a blistering
That's a
start.
good one too, though.
But he also has been hitting the shit out
Yep.
of the ball recently.
Yep.
So yeah, I like we'll see how it goes. Last week, Nate won, and it was Cal Raleigh. I can barely say his name. I always want to say Riley and Lindor, who led all of MLB with home runs with 4.
What's the score
So
now?
the scores right now are Cam 7 points.
I like that.
Me and Nate are tied at
Oh,
5.
excellent. I've been horrible, and I'm still winning.
Chat falling a little behind at 2 points.
Need a big week from Ketel Marte is what you need. Big week.
Basically. And if Cam happens to win this week, today counted.
Great. Is that all you had?
That's all I had today, though.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Before we go, tell the people what they need to do if they haven't done it yet, Will.
Keep, participating in these lives. You guys make it fun. We all have full-time jobs out of here, so it's kind of hard to get on here every night. But you guys make us keep wanting to do it. So please keep participating. We love it when we have stuff to talk about that you guys want to talk about. Comment on YouTube. Usually that goes up about 11 a.m. the next day. Listen to us on Spotify. Usually that goes up at 7 a.m. the next day, so you can listen to it on your drive on your way to work, unless you go to work at like 5 a.m. Then sucks for you. But yeah, just follow us on all social medias: Twitter, Instagram. Might start doing some more TikTok stuff as well. So we'll have to see. But yeah, appreciate you guys.
All right, that is it for today. Next week will be the same time, same place. I will be at my parents' house, getting ready for everything for the move to take place. So I will be doing the episode from my parents' crib in my old bedroom. You guys are going to see my old stomping grounds from way back in the day.
Or
So
in your sister's room again.
oh yeah, no, we're gonna talk to someone. We're gonna figure that out. We're gonna make sure we figure that out. I will be in my room. But yeah, next week should be the same. After next week, I will be in Vegas. So we will have to coordinate what time, because I'll be like 3 hours behind everyone. So we've got to coordinate what time and day works best. So keep an eye out for that. We will figure it out and let you guys know. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We will see you next time.
Peace.